Hello you guys, you'll notice that this is a new segment I'm recording because it's starting off with introduction like this. So, a little awkward thing with the editing scenario, I thought my capture would have recorded the gameplay audio, but for some reason it didn't. I don't know why, it just didn't. So, I'm going to add in some background music to get this atmosphere of horror, because that's the whole point of the game, to get you more immersed into the game's, atmosphere and the surroundings and feel like you're actually there. That's the whole point of the game, you know? But with the game's audio not available for the first few parts, it kinda sucks ass, like big ass. So apologies on that advance, but don't blame me. I wanted the audio in the bloody video, but no. My capture software said, no, you want game audio with your recording? Don't be silly. Don't be silly with that preposterous nonsense. Why would you want the gameplay audio? Ha! Crazy idea. But yeah, here we go. We are beginning chapter 4 of Buried. Yeah, I did record. Okay, I forgot I pressed record. Okay. The ride up the elevator is tense. I take a series of deep breaths, doing everything I can to stay in control. Sorry, my phone vibrated there. Phone's not the time to vibrate. I'm middle recording. You can't just go and do that to me. Amy has gotten back to her feet, but her head is pressed against the elevator wall as she suppresses a series of sobs. I find myself trying to remember the way those creatures looked, but my mind seems to be shudder at the effort. I have seen something that is an impossibility, a mockery of what I know as real. This fills me with terror that dwarfs anything else I have felt since discovering the facility. I try to focus my mind on something else, and remember Marcus's threats. I wonder if we'll see Marcus again, I say, mostly to myself. Do you think Marcus got away from those things? Amy asks. Well, let's think here. He has got trained skills. As long as he stays quiet, it is a possibility. I'm not gonna deny it. I mean, you should tell him that everything's gonna be alright, but in this situation, we've got either these weird entities or Marcus. That's the big issues here. Like, we got either a crazy guy trying to kill us or crazy entities from another world. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of The Mist. You know that movie The Mist? That was a good film. A generally good film. I remember watching it a few times. Then it had a Netflix series, but I didn't really go too far. This is what it reminds me of. Something's in the mist! We opened a window, but it turned out to be a door. You know, I'm getting that vibe, you know? She opens her mouth as if to say something, but her mouth simply hangs open. He's gone, I assure her. Don't worry about him. We have bigger problems to worry about right now. But honestly, I'm speaking more to myself than her. So, I say, how did you end up here? She gives a nervous chuckle and shrugs. I used to work with the Pentagon. It was some pretty upper... What? I don't know what that is. Stuff, and I still can't discuss. I assume this place is even more upper... You're just trying to make me look stupid, aren't you? I said. This place isn't even on the scale, she answers. My other job was a cakewalk compared to this. Then why stay? I ask. Because the money's ridiculous. I have a 13-year-old daughter already talking about Harvard. You do the math. Oh, yeah. So you took a government job to help your kids. That's a interesting perspective. Harvard, huh? That's ambitious. Any other kids? Out of all the two things you could ask in a situation, yeah, Harvard's quite a big place, I know what you mean. Or so you got any other kids you want to talk about? Like, if you got a son, is he in school? What's he doing? Me, I've got no wife, I've got no kids. Nah. I've not had any action in years. You know. Let's see. Harvard, that's ambitious. Just to line things up. Oh, I know. She's a force of nature. Her dad ran off when I was 3. So for a long time, it's been just her and me. Amy pauses before continuing softly. What if I never see? Her voice breaks off. The words too terrible to say. Her eyes fill with tears. The elevator comes to a stop. The slight ding of the interrupting the moment. Amy hastily wipes her eyes and waste no time in getting back inside the command center. It is cold, guys. Like, in Scotland right now, it is really cold. Like, I've got my windows shut, but the cold's still seeping through, and it's just, oh no, it's really getting cold. Oof. Right. We're back at the cameras. Great. I ready the rifle, suddenly certain that there are more of these creatures waiting for us in the hallway of the second level. But the way is clear, allowing us to haul ass to the command center. Yeah, you betcha. Once again, I find myself staring at the screen that shows my ruined worksite. Okay, Amy says, typing commands rapidly. It can't be that hard. I keep peeking over my shoulders, my senses feeling as if the monsters are sneaking up on us, mere inches away. Oh no! I can feel it. Like, you hear the screeching, like, no, I'm alright, pal. Bye. I then think of Dennis and wonder how he's faring back in level 3. Is he safe? He's probably dead, mate. No, I'm not gonna lie, he's probably dead. It's only just him. He's still wounded. I look back to the screens and see that Amy has finally found what she's looking for. A prompt on the screen says override of hangar doors and all level 3 locks require clearance code. I bet Marcus has got the clearance codes. No, I wouldn't, actually. No, I wouldn't. Amy types in a number with shaking fingers and then the screen goes black for a moment. The moment the words override confirmed come up to the screen, Amy jumps up from the chair and heads out of the room. We had to be quick, she says. We have exactly 20 minutes to open those hangar. What? What did you do? What happens in 20 minutes? You gotta blow us up? Is this whole place gonna blow up? Is it a self-destruct switch? The lock will kick in again. Security measures. I couldn't do anything about it. I follow her out of the command center and bound back to the hallway towards the same elevator that brought us here. Amy punches the elevator button and the doors slide open. We're taking the same elevator back to the biochem room, I ask. Those creatures are still down there. It's the only way back down, she says. The other way is blocked by those hydraulic doors that we pulled. Hopefully the creatures left. Hopefully. Neither of us say anything else, as we share a look of immense dread. We step back into the elevator and head back down to the biochem room on level 3. That's great. Oh boy. It's do or die. Do or die. Oh, lovely. Oh, he's probably still here, isn't he? I'm guaranteeing it. He's still in here hiding. As the elevator doors open, we peer out, looking out to see if the creatures are still in the area. But it's all clear, save that strange green chemical leaking out of the tank I accidentally shot. The moss has started to expand and climb on the sides of some of the tanks. I'm distracted for a moment before realizing we need to move. When Amy looks to me, her eyes are clear and strong. Marcus wasn't entirely wrong, Amy says as we start walking back towards the hangar. About what? About how I'm partially to blame for this. Why would you be to blame? Some of the things we do here, it's scary. We should have known that one day something like this would happen. Everyone here with knowledge of what goes on in level 3 is to blame, she says. It's a highly advanced research facility, I say. Doing amazing but risky stuff. So yeah, you're partially to blame by just working here, but I can understand the dedication. So why don't you tell me a bit more about what does go on in level 3, I ask. Are you familiar with the large Hadron Collider over in Switzerland? I've heard the phrase, but that's about it, I say. It's a powerful particle accelerator, she explains. Right now they are using it to try and create what's called dark matter. Precious dark matter! It's theorized that this dark matter actually makes up the majority of the universe, but parts of the universe very different from ours. My guess is that people at the LHC will probably create their first dark matter particle in about 2018 or 2019. Well, you've still got a few months, mate, so I'm still waiting on that. Here in this facility, we were able to create one almost 10 years. It was the key to our research. Does this have something to do with those things? What does that... Yeah, what does that have to do with these things? Did you take what was theirs? Well, we still don't know all there is about dark matter. Or other matter we have yet to identify. These creatures could be made of it. Or maybe there are some even more exotic matter. We don't know. If dark matter is responsible, there are no real answers to have. I scratch my head. So you're saying this dark matter helps with what? Opening up other dimensions or something? That's the theory, she says. During the point-to-point transfer, the subjects are gone for about 3 to 6 seconds. There's no way to see or measure their presence, but they exist somewhere. From what we can tell, they exist in a kind of void. Have you done this to people? No, what's this void actually? I'm curious about that. We don't know. There may be an infinite number of voids or space. Some of them appear to just be nothingness, a vacuum of exotic matter. We're talking about places that we can only measure with instruments. What does that mean? I ask. Do you know what these places look like? No, it means in order to describe it to you, you'd have to be a mathematician, and I'd have to walk through the realms of data and equations. Yeah, forget that. I don't know anything about maths. I only know like basic maths. I know 2 plus 2, but if you give me like a pi equation, I'm out. So even though we can describe them, we're still a long way from figuring out what these places look like. Sorry, I asked, feeling my mind start to bend inward again. As we continue to walk between the silos, we walk past the area where we left Marcus behind, but he's long gone. Maybe he found a way out. I realize that we are walking very close together between the silos, perhaps trying to create the illusion of safety. We reach to the exit connecting to the hangar doors, where Dennis hopefully is still there. Hopefully, or not being torn to shreds as we speak. Jesus, you're gonna see a hand there, half his head there, his legs like on the ceiling or something. Ugh. My guts clench and my heart hammers into my chest as we open the door and walk through. I lift the rifle, but at first it seems that there is nothing waiting for us. And that's when I see the glowing, hulking shape to my left, closing in fast. Don't you dare show me an image. Don't you? Swear to fucking God. The creature is about 10 feet away from me, coming in quickly. So I do the first thing that comes to mind. I drop to the ground, making myself a smaller target, and raise the rifle. I'm not sure if I should just unload on the bastard or just try to be choosy with my shots and weaken it, or at least slow it down. Well, it's not gonna kill the fucker, I'll tell you that for free. A bullet is not gonna kill him. Shoot to weaken? Oh no, that's a tough one. Like, you want to try and insta-kill the thing, but it probably won't do anything, because bullets will do nothing to these things, obviously, because they're still alive and people are dead, but let's just shoot to weaken. See how that goes. My shot causes the entire milky white frame to jerk to the floor. It flounders. It's ghost-like, tentacles writhing with rage as it cries out at me. It seems to turn and jerk away, parts of it appearing and disappearing every few feet. It moves down the hall, so it works! I look quickly around for the others, but there's only Amy. She looks at where the monsters went, with wide eyes. Her face is pale, and I wonder if, like me, she's able to feel her mind trying to retreat. Come on, I say. Let's find Dennis and get through these hangar doors. Amy glances at her watch and nods. We're already down 6 minutes. We turn towards the hangar doors, and I'm a little disgusted with myself because the bloody scene that was so shocked me before now seems mild. Amy goes to work with the computer console on the side of the doors. She starts punching in the key, saying, "This is going to take some time." I thought you already unlocked it. I did. But for this door, there's still security premises I need to hack. Marcus would have known how to do this. She trails off, and I decide to let her get to work. Suddenly, something slams into me. I feel my feet leave the floor, and I am literally thrown across the concrete. Great! I look up in time to see one of the creatures is apparently in no hurry to attack me again, focusing on Amy instead. She's not armed. I need to come up with a plan to get the thing away from her so she can focus on getting the door open. It raises one of its flickering appendages, making me certain that part of its makeup is pure light and energy. I could easily take a shot with my rifle, but my mind again goes to how much remaining ammo I have. The only thing I can think of is to get it to chase me and lead it away from the... Oh no, what the fuck? What the fuck, man? Oh, no fucking way, man. Are you serious? Oh, I don't want to waste bullets, but I don't want... God damn it. I don't want to run from a fucking entity. Oh, God. I'm doing it. Hey, I yell. Right here. Come and get me. I'm the one that shot your buddy. It turns to me and I am again faced with staring at something that has no business in this world, in this reality. Its body gives off a sort of glow around the central part. A bulbous core that is branched off into 2 lumps. Very lump-like, like a spike. Why? Why? Again, I sense that this visual information is not accurate, but it's the best my simple mind can do to make sense of this impossible creature. It starts lurking towards me, and it lets out a shriek of agony that makes my ears feel like they'll explode. Now that I'm sure it's coming after me, I take off running and head into another hallway we haven't been down before. I find myself in an industrial-looking area, and I'm pleased to find that the monster has followed me through. Oh great! I'm basically Shaggy in this situation. Like Zork Scoob! Like, run for it! The room seems to be an assortment of old pipes and tanks. I assume some of them run further down into the areas of the facility. With the creature on my tail, I dash into the maze of metal, hoping to lose it. It's definitely having a harder time squeezing through than I am, and that slows it down. Of course, the room's not a cage of any kind. This thing is still heading towards me, shredding through the pipes as it rages. Great. I notice that sometimes it is breaking the steel girders, but other times it seems like it's somehow merging with changing them. Pipes that were separate are now connected together in a way that makes my head hurt. I finally get a good amount of distance between myself and the creature. I think it's lost my trail. I need to get back to those hangar doors. There's not much time before they close shut. Before I can make a sound, that creature could be on my heels again. I mean, goddamn! I don't want to run, but they might get chasing me again. I know no matter what I pick, I'm screwed. If I go for a run, I know what this is gonna play a trick on me. If I try to go to run for it because it's our last chance, I'm gonna mess it up. But if I don't do that, I'll hide. But if I do hide, I could possibly screw myself here. God damn it! Jesus, I'm gonna hide because I like hiding. I take care and stay silent, twisting myself through some of the pipes and making my way back towards the door, and I enter through. The creature doesn't seem to pick up on this. I see it glowing back as I come around. It lets out a static scream that makes my insides feel like jelly. But I don't even look back. I slide quietly through the rusted obstacle course and tiptoe back to the hangar doors. Where's Dennis is my question. I want to know what happened to Dennis. Is he infected? Did he turn into one of those things? Is that possible? You never know, man. I burst back into the large room and see Amy still working on the computer terminal by the hangar doors. You okay? I ask Amy. I can clearly see her battling for control over facilities. Steel determination wins out as she gives a grim nod. Any sign of where Dennis went? I ask, hoping she wasn't noticed his body somewhere. No, she replies. It's then I realize that I have no idea how many rounds I have remaining in this rifle. This isn't a model I'm familiar with. Outside of some deer hunting, I'm not much of an expert on firearms. Still, I am able to locate the chamber easily and see that there is 4 rounds left. Not great, but it could be worse. How are we on time, I ask her. 2 minutes. I'm probably as fast as I can. Amy does her best to focus on the keyboard, but there are still no signs of Dennis. Before I have time to look around, a screeching sound erupts from the other end of the room. I bring the rifle up in a shooter stance and turn around. With the hangar doors right behind me, no signs of Dennis, and a closing window of time, I have to be confident. Yet when two monsters come around the corner, my body wants to shut down. The appendages seem to jump in time and space, reaching out for a split second appendages of the body, and then disappearing back to where they came from. It turns and screeches at me, its glowing tentacles snaking out of its body. My knees tremble uncontrollably. Behind me, Amy shrieks. I feel myself losing control, my mind sliding into the abyss of insanity. I pull myself away from the brink. Save the bullets. Turn away. I can stand here and use my last 4 shots, but what good would that do? So instead, I turn to face the hangar doors. How long before we can go open these things? Not long, she says, furiously typing into the terminals as commands floods the screen. I doubt it, I think to myself. Can I do anything to help? She doesn't answer. Deep in concentration, I turn back around and see a looming ship appear. The creature comes around the corner, screaming out in static-like sound. I step away from Amy and the hangar doors and towards the monster, ready to defend her. I ready my rifle, but the creature wastes no time. It makes that jerky motion towards me, and there's a sharp pain in my chest as it collides with me. Or through me. It's hard to tell. My instinct is to try to grapple or hold this thing down. But then I realize, I don't even know what if it'll work. Right, if we don't know if it can, I think trying to hold it may do worse than good, because if I hold on to it, I'm pretty sure then that creature will just take advantage and, I don't know, like, make me, like, merge with it or something, you know, like, or I may have his other appendages ready to grab me as I'm holding onto it, or some shit. I'm just thinking what this thing could do if I try this. If I try to grab onto this thing, that's probably not good, because I'm pretty sure if I even... I don't know. But there's still not so much we understand about these creatures. Try to get away. Try to get away. I think I'd rather not try to learn more about the physical nature of this thing right now. Yep. I tuck and roll away from it, then stand to face it. With a scream of defiance, I raise the rifle and put it round in its course. The shot lands dead center and the light inside of the flickers almost violently. It falls back against the wall, issuing a hiss of its telltale static noise. It then jerks away and retreats, at least for now. Another terror appears as if out of nowhere, screaming at me with its high-pitched whine. It bounds forward, charging in its strange, spastic way. I aim the rifle, intending to take the shot in the core too. I take several shots, but it's still coming at me. As it slams into me, I realize that I have only 1 bullet left. On contact, the wind is knocked out of my lungs, and the back of my head strikes the floor. But neither of these things is alarming as the fact that the beast is on top of me. Its exterior is like a seashell that has been pounded by the surf for so long that it has lost all edges and ridges. But the grip it tries to capture me with is pure violence. I feel those light-soaked appendages start to wrap around me. I raise the rifle knowing I still have 1 last shot. The way of the monster is erratic. One moment I feel weightless, another I feel like I'm going to be crushed. I push forward with a rifle to aim, but it's overpowering me. I'm not sure I'll be able to get the effective shot off. I see the core of the body. It's like a spider-like shape connecting to the rest of it by thin white strings of tissue. I know I'll be dead within seconds unless I can manage to shoot. I can manage to shot, but I don't know where to aim. Oh shit! Shit. Center? The creature is seconds away from tearing my shoulder. I have to stop it now. I grunt as I try to angle the rifle in the direction of the beast's formless core. Its appendages begin tugging down into the barrel. But it's at that moment I pull the trigger, unleashing the final shot. Thank God I saved the last bullet earlier. The shot aggravates it enough to win some breathing room. I've saved my shoulder, but this thing's still alive and kicking. But then I see the creature extend its tentacles in a violent whip-like motion away from me. While it makes that static screeching sound, the creature disappears into thin air and reappears a few feet from me, retreating. With a shudder and a cry of desperation, I get to my feet, just in time to see the monster head in the direction of the biochem room. Amy looks over at me from her terminal at the hangar doors, looking petrified. I manage to help myself up when I see another figure near us. But to my relief, I realize it's a human figure. Dennis, with a gun. Oh no. You okay, boss? He asks. But his eyes aren't on me. They are looking to the creature, trying to understand exactly what he has just seen. About 15 minutes ago, I heard the door to the maintenance room unlocked, Dennis says, pointing to the gun. Pointing to the room I tried to bust my way into earlier. Ah. When I did the override up in the command center, it unlocked all the small doors here, including that maintenance room. I went inside there and hid. And while I was waiting for you to come back, I found a massive trunk. There are a few guns in it, so I grabbed this one. Nice! But I'm glad he's safe. I don't want to make it all about... Thanks, boss. Me too. She doesn't break eye contact with the panel. Almost done. Suddenly, with a amount of warning, a shot ricochets off the walls behind Amy's head. Startled, we look around, confused. Did Dennis' gun go off? When another shot blasted again, we all drop to the floor. I look around, wondering who it was, what could possibly be shooting us. Those creatures don't do anything that sounds remotely like a gunfire. Then I see him. Marcus. I should have killed him when I had the chance. He has a rifle and is walking towards us, an insane look in his eyes. You all deserve to die, he screams, unleashing another round I hear whiz by my head. Dennis doesn't hesitate. He stands up and shoots Marcus, causing him to retreat. How much longer, Amy? We can't hold off. Almost there. She makes a few final key presses and she says, done. The door opens up, the noise and the hydraulics and the whoosh of the air. With Marcus pinned down by Dennis's gunfire, we start moving towards the doors. At that moment, another creature jerks in the extension around the corner between us and Marcus. Shit, Marcus says and starts unloading it. But you learned the same lesson we did. This only slows the creature down. Marcus gives us one last look and then turns and runs off in another direction. Dennis, Amy and I climb up, head through the doors, moving on another room. More adrenaline. I see a look longingly at the maintenance room Dennis took the shotgun from. You get into the hangar, Dennis says. I'll get some firepower. Satisfied with the plan, Amy heads for the door. We scramble inside, finally, inside the hangar. Dennis approaches from behind, holding several guns and looking like a kid who grabbed an armful of Halloween candy. Fitting. Very fitting. Amy reaches out for a 9mm with one hand. Dennis turns to me and holds our shotgun and a handgun for me to choose. Both look deadly. The shotgun looks more powerful, but the handgun will probably be more precise. But the shotgun, it will be powerful, but yeah, it's gonna be a short range. It's gonna have a short range. And I think Dennis can handle a shotgun. To me, I'll take the handgun. That's just sealed my fate, probably. I select the handgun and comforted by the way it feels to fit perfectly in my shaky grip. There are more creatures coming, as many as a dozen. They are floating down the hallway quickly, their tentacles slithering. The way their light seems to mingle together, it's almost beautiful. Close the door! I yell at Amy. She dashes to another terminal mounted on the inside of the hangar doors and tries desperately to close them. It's not working, she says with the tears in her eyes. This terminal's disabled. Dennis looks through the doors opened, readying himself to shoot the first creature then near us. Should we try to slow a few of them down or just run for it? Well, it's disabled, right? Well, she's trying. Like, it's disabled, right? So there's no other option. We have to run for it, right? I'm just going by logic here. Like, if it's disabled, there's nothing we can do, right? She can't override it, can she? She says with tears in her eyes. So she's probably hoping it works some way. Like, keep trying, but it won't work. So we just gotta run for it, right? That's probably gonna kill me. Good idea, says Amy. With that, we turn around and sprint it out to the hangar floor. Yeah, that's what I'm just thinking. But I thought like she'd be in denial, like keep trying, like pressing buttons and hopefully it works. That's just me. That's just me. That's what I thought she'd be doing. Oh boy. The room is enormous, so large that to call it a room seems silly. A large concrete floor stretches out below an expensive lofted ceiling. The area is mostly empty, except for one side which has rows and rows of metal battles. Back on the far wall is a lit area that seems to expose more rooms, labs and machinery. Also in the rear of the hangar, I can see some kind of chamber or control center. Dennis and I follow Amy across the hangar floor. Behind us, a series of rough, slithery sounds tells us that the creatures made their way up to the hangar. From somewhere up ahead, a loud buzzing noise sounds out. It reminds me of the slight buzzing noise I'd hear in the forest, the noise that I've tried to avoid. I look ahead and see that in the far back of the hangar, a bright red light is flashing. There's a small hatch or door below the light. That hatch is open. I can see a shape inside it. I can barely make it out a figure of a man standing there, holding an industrial microphone. And as soon as I see him, I hear his huge, amplified voice. It blares down in the intercom system, and he sounds pissed. I don't know who the hell you are, he says, but this is a government facility on lockdown, and there are protocols to shit. I assume the curse coincides with the exact moment he sees the creatures. You think? They are making their way through the hangar doors. They're maybe 20 feet behind us, and the creatures I act instinctively, firing twice at the handgun, comes alive in my hands. One shot goes to the core of the monster, causing it to jerk backwards. Another shot slows down another. The accuracy I get with the 9mm is amazing. Amy and Dennis take the cue and start firing as well. The floor becomes littered with swirling white fluid from the wounded creatures' bodies. But they are not slowing down. The alarm keeps shrieking behind us when I turn to see if anything has changed back there. I trip over my feet. I hit the ground hard, and in an almost comic fashion, slide several feet across the floor. From the ground, I see that they managed to turn back 4 of them. But I also see that my estimate is a dozen off. There are at least 20 of them. They are sick, dim, light, sinister, and gloomy. Their appendages seem to be bind together as they come forward. My only hope for survival is that the man in the far doorway has somehow shut the hangar doors. His voice comes blurring over the intercom again, broken by the booming noise of the gunfire that was laying down. Run here towards the isolated chamber. I'm not sure how much we have. I realize that I can sprint ahead of Amy and Dennis, or I can hang back to give them cover. Oh fuck! Oh, you gonna make me a dick? Fuck it. I'm doing it. Go inside where the guy is. I'll make sure we don't have any those things right on our tails. I'll hold them off for a while. I know it sounds macho, but it almost feels the right thing to do. I have to at least try to give him some kind of chance for escape. I know, man, I gotta do it. So as Amy and Dennis run through the doors, I blast the next thing that I see moving. All I get for my troubles is a static-like hiss and a high-pitched whistling noise. I'm able to beat them back a bit, forcing them to scatter. Each flicker of light is a small victory. If nothing else, I'm buying Amy and Dennis time, and I'm certain there's nothing more than I can do. I turn and run. I hustle, quickly catching up to Amy and Dennis, who stop and turn to provide me with some cover fire. There, Amy says, pointing to me with a small door where the man standing earlier. The swarm is less than 15 feet away now, so furious that they are now pushing through one another to get to us. I raise the handgun fire, taking my time to aim. I hit one of the spider-like parts of its body. I fire again, this time taking one in the core. I place 2 more rounds into the creature, eventually causing it to move backwards. We are in the middle of a hangar floor now, with the isolation chamber ahead and the monster behind us. Beside me, Dennis also fires. The kick of the gun jolts him, probably a result of him being weakened from the blood loss. His shot lands true, though causing a jerking stumble and flickering of the lights. We're almost in, Amy yells, as we get close to the door. They get in first. Get inside, I tell Amy and Dennis, motioning for him to get moving with the gun. I open the door and give Dennis a push towards it. He resists, more eager to try taking down another of those beasts before he makes it to safety, but he eventually gives in. I wait a beat to make sure Amy's inside too. I fire off a few rounds at the creature that are still headed for us, hoping to slow them down. When Amy and Dennis clear the room, I nearly dash inside, but then feel something hot seep into my back. "Roger!" Dennis yells. The pain in my back is so immense that I barely notice the fact that I have been lifted from the floor. I look down to see that there's one of the creatures is using its flowing arms to grab me by the waist, its tentacles wrapping around me. It lifts me into the air, as if presenting me a trophy of its friends. I try to focus, attempting to angle my arm in a way that I can allow me to aim the handgun and place a bullet in its body, but it's shaking me violently, and its body parts appearing and disappearing in a way that it makes no sense. Another oddity of its structure. I can literally do nothing more than hang there, like a rag doll, hoping it'd be saved. As it continues to hoist me up, screeching its approval, Dennis comes back out of the room and fires a shot. The bullets catch the monster on the underside of its core, sending it backwards and causing it to freeze for a moment. It releases me and I hit the ground, dropping my gun, and I again finding myself unable to breathe. I feel slightly dizzy. But that fades when I see Dennis is still standing outside the door. He's firing into the beast like a madman and doesn't see the one on his left coming along him. Oh no. Because I'm pretty fucked, right? I'm really wounded, so I can't really push him. Hearing my voice, he turns to look directly at me, but this is the opposite way he needs to do. Behind him, and the creature glides up, shaking back and forth in space as it moves. By the time Dennis turns and sees the creature coming, it has already drawn several appendages out back to strike. Dennis tries to raise his gun, but it's knocked away by one of his tentacles. A second tentacle strikes Dennis, is spun around, thrown off balance by the attack. Dennis catches himself before falling. A third tentacle wraps around Dennis's forearm. I can see it squeeze, tightening instantly. The tip of the appendage passes clean through my hand, its blood-soaked tip poking through his palm. Dennis's face grimaces with a pain as he tries to reach for his gun free. But the creature's tentacle has his hand speared, like a nail through wood. In a moment of dark clarity, I realize that I can free him with a clean shot at the monster's tentacle, but it will likely mean blowing Dennis's hand off. Dennis, I yell over the creatures. "Can you get free?" "No." "Don't shoot, I can get free." "No, don't you dare." "No! No, 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 Dennis, 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 Dennis. Dennis, my man, I know you think you can get free, but... Fuck. Oh, no, 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 no. Fuck. Dennis, look, man, I want to trust you, but we are in some heavy shit right now. Hell is literally a few feet away trying to tuck us back into the fiery domains. We don't have much time to practice. Oh, fuck, no, shit. Oh, fuck, oh, God. Get shit out of that. This is difficult. I want to trust him, but I don't trust him, but I do, but I don't. It's a fucking paradox. Don't shoot, I can get free. I can't tell if he's right, but the other monsters are starting to encircle him. They're encircling him? Oh no, that you can't get out, buddy. There's no way in hell you're gonna get free your arm and jump out of the circle of the, you know, ghostly jump you're about to get. You're about to take some lumps. Oh God. I'm gonna go random. Oh, here we go. I killed him. I killed him. I killed him. Des is fighting hard, doing everything he can to bring the gun around his good hand. He's screaming as he tries to tear his hand away, screaming in both fury and desperation. This only seems to anger the creature, which then swats Dennis with another of its tentacle, opening its deep gash across his cheek. His skin peels back and his eyes go wide with shock. The creature drops him to the ground as if playing with him. and then the floor and space around Dennis seems to warp. The bottom core of his body seems to disappear, before I realize it's being merged with the floor. And at that moment I know it's over. 3 others swarm him, surrounding what remains of his fallen body. I don't even hear Dennis scream. There's just a frenzy of crackling, sickening wail sound. After that, there is nothing else. Fury, sorrow, and absolute rage surge through my heart. I grab my gun, the main beast towards me. They'll kill me, but I don't care. This is war, as far as I'm concerned. This is... Amy grabs me from behind and pulls me hard inside. I try fighting her off, but she's persistent. Part of my mind knows she's right. Don't be an idiot. She practically throws me through the doorway. As I fall, I hear her fire off 2 shots, slamming the door closed. I watch blearily as she punches a few buttons on the control pad on the wall. This is followed by a metallic click as the door locks. Dennis is gone. Oh man, I knew it! I fucking knew it! But, I made the random choice. I was afraid in case if I shot his hand off, then he fucking I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Dennis, I'm sorry! Dennis! Dennis! I'm sorry! Oh, we lost it, Dennis! I'm sorry, Dennis! We are now inside a large reinforced chamber of sorts, almost like the inside of a submarine. Near us is that door, shut tight. Far away from us along the back wall, all sorts of controls and monitors. It seems clear that this metal door is impenetrable, at least to them. I'm fairly sure that they aren't getting in. Dennis, I say, I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for pulling you back, but you were walking to your death out there. I know, I say, but that doesn't make it any easier. I couldn't quite see, but it looked like you may have had a shot. Why didn't you take it? I don't want to say he told me to, because that just sounds stupid. Right out of my mouth, it just sounds dumb. He told me not to shoot. That just sounds dumb. I thought he would get away. It just makes me look like a complete idiot. I'll go with that one. Roger, Amy says. My God, I'm sorry. There's no way you could have known. Who did I think I was? Trying to bring him into this wretched place, hoping to save his life? A lot of good that did. I ended up letting them die right in front of me anyway. Out of nowhere, an image of Dennis pumping his fist after winning a game of pool pops into my head. Dennis always wins, always gets away, except for this time. It's terrible for me to say, but you're right, he's dead, but we're still alive, and we need to get out of here. How? I say, nearly mocking her, by taking it one thing at a time. We need to figure out how bad this is and how to get ourselves under control. And then, well, we are interrupted by a man's voice booming behind us. Just what the hell you think you're doing? The man roars. He's an older man who seems to exude power and authority, but he also looks tired and scared. I assume this is Barksdale. He walks over to us from the back recess of the chamber. We didn't have a choice, Amy responds. We have to. Did you override this locks and the hangar doors? Yes, I did. But we had to. Do you have any idea what you could have done? Amy doesn't answer right away. She's furious, but she's also scared and visibly exhausted. Well, I mean, it must be Barkley, right? Who is this? Sure. I address my question to Amy, preferring to get my info from her rather than whoever this is. The man doesn't break eye contact with Amy. Call the Barksdale. Oh, that's her saying it. Whoops. He runs the place, she says, annoyed. Look, Barksdale, she says. You can berate me and lecture me all you want when this mess is all over. But right now, I have a wounded civilian here, and you can see me. Several entities trying to get into this room. So if you could actually do something instead of sitting in your throne and yelling at me, that would be great. I'm impressed by your guts and wonder if there's some sort of beef between the two of them. Surely working in a place like this could cause some stress and tension between people. As we wait, I notice a small peephole in the door. I go to it and look out the thing. Go look at the things. They're still looking far away in, but finding no success. I wonder if they can sense or somehow see me through the door. I'm not. Are you crazy? What do you want me to? Yeah, I'll open the peephole and see a death stare. Jesus, that's something you don't want. No, thank you. No, thank you. I still don't understand what these things are capable of or trying to figure out. Hurts my head, so I decide to leave them be. You will be reprimanded for speaking to me in such a way, Barksdale, says Amy. Reprimanded me all you want. I'd like to survive this first. Cover your ears, Barksdale shouts, walking away towards the far end of the room. Stay put until you hear back from me. Thank you, Amy says with a fire in her voice. She then turns to me and says, better do what he says. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue. Cover my fucking ears, don't want to be deaf. I clap my hands over my ears just in time to protect my hearing from a deafening blast. I can still feel my blood rushing out and wonder if what Dennis felt like at the beginning of his end. Before the sorrow of losing Dennis can consume me, something slaps against the wall of the room in tremendous force. I assume this is just another of the monsters slithering along the wall. But when I turn back towards the door, I hear something surprising. More bursts of loud explosive noises start ringing out. Looking through the peephole again, I see the core of one of the beasts explode. It vanishes in a puff of smoke and clear liquid. Looking to my left, I see Barksdale in a shooting stance at the far side of the room. He's firing through a small slit in the wall. He's using some high-powered weapon, the likes of which I've never seen. I see a slight movement as the gun kicks, accompanied by a flicker of white light. Immediately, another monster is downed, its tentacles flailing around it aimlessly as most of its core is torn through. I instantly feel gratitude and immense satisfaction in knowing that they are being picked off in such a way. I'm gonna fucking sit, man. I would do that too, man. I'd be like, you know what? I've been through some shit. I was trying to do some construction. Something happened. Your stupid shit came up to... Oh, my microphone. Your stupid shit came up to my area. My mates are dead. My mate is also incapacitated. He's been wounded. We came down here. We found your top secret base. One of your mates tried to kill me. One of your mates tried to help me out. Then he tried to kill me again and kill your friend here, who is actually kind of nice, but she had a... You know, she took her part in this, but she wasn't trying to do anything bad per se. She is part of the, you know, the whole outbreak. Then we got these spooky Stephen King monsters running around trying to kill me and my friend. And then I try to trust my friend and hopefully he can escape. But then he dies in front of me. And I'm the only one from the crew surviving. And I have a feeling we won't last long. So yeah, that sucked. I'm gonna sit and rest. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit and rest.